Hi guys, welcome back. Okay, in the last video I spoke about relationships and the divine energy that exists within relationships. But what I thought was also important to talk about is I spoke about self-love and how that's part of being in like a healthy relationship, a divine relationship, where you fill your own cup first and you're good yourself. You don't need anyone to fill you up because you're filled up yourself, with self-love. And speaking about egolessness, because that is one of the elements of self-love. Egolessness means when you work on yourself and you fill up your own cup and you fill up yourself with self-love, you can transcend your ego. And the ego being, focused on the self, just, caring only about yourself and not caring about others, competition, comparing to someone else, who's better, who's worse, who's right, who's wrong, all that 3D ego type stuff. Being in that place makes it harder to get into a space of self-love and divine love. So when you are not in your ego and you've released your ego as a result of a lot of hard work, right, and a lot of different experiences, but when you release your ego, what you're doing is you're not comparing yourself to anyone else. Your cup is full, and you're not trying to beat anyone at anything. You're not comparing yourself to others. You're not saying, I'm right, you're wrong, this is good, this is bad, like all that type of rhetoric. It's just, I release my ego. I release the need to compare myself to others. I release the need to make someone else wrong, make myself right, vice versa. To make myself good and the other person bad, vice versa, right? It's just saying I shed that whole ego 3D human experience, and I am just connected to the divine, and the divine being my source for strength, for guidance, for referring to my inner guidance, my inner compass, and knowing that it's connected to the divine and that I don't have to compare myself to anybody else to be okay. I'm okay regardless. And it's a journey. It goes, up and down, right? We take a couple steps forward and maybe a couple steps back. But it's saying being in a place of love and vibrating at a higher frequency, that I don't need to compare myself to anybody. And the reason, and to be egoless. Like, of course, we want to take care of ourselves and do what's good for us, right? Take care of our mind, our own body, our own spirit, right? And to feel good about ourselves. That doesn't mean that it's ego-based, right? It's when you love yourself, then you are going to take care of yourself, right? And do what's good for you and what's right for you, not to the exclusion of anyone else, or to, be above someone. That's not what this is. This is about being egoless, to say, I stay in my own lane. I take care of myself. I love myself. I do what's right for me. And without hurting, that's the goal, without hurting anyone else intentionally. Anyways, we always, and there's the potential there to hurt others, and unknowingly, right? Because we don't know what others have experienced and what they've been through. We could hurt them unintentionally. But the point is, we don't intentionally try to hurt anyone when we're egoless. We don't try to compare ourselves. We're not in a competition. We're not trying to do better, be better than anybody else, right? That living in that place of the ego is what causes us all our struggle, our suffering, our pain, right? Is when we're in a me mode. What about me? And to a degree, when you're on your journey, on a healing journey, the pain does come from what about me? And that pain can be transcended so that you're not in that what about me mindset. It's what about we, us, all of us, right? A higher perspective, a higher vibration. When you're in that place and you're resonating higher, a lot of the 3D ego stuff kind of diminishes and doesn't present itself as often as it did, right? So the good news about that is others can feel that. And when you're interacting with others, you're not just waiting for them to finish a sentence so you can get something in about yourself, type of thing. And we all have spoken to people like that. I'm sure you have an experience. I'd love to hear about it if you want to put it in the comments below. But we've all had the experience where you're talking to somebody and they just want to talk about themselves the whole time. And the minute you want to share something or offer something as part of a conversation, they dismiss it, shut it down so they can continue to just talk about themselves. And it's draining. And people, that's an ego-based individual, right, who's still living in their ego. And the challenge is, in life, if we live just from our ego, we're all going to have experiences where our ego gets crushed or stepped on or squashed, right? And it's intentional, I believe, because I don't believe we're supposed to be living from an ego-based perspective. So, as an example, like a lot of people attach their identity to the type of work that they do. And what do you do for work? It's very common, right? What do you do for work? And then we say what we do, and we're defined by that, right? People, it's like a system within society that we rate other people based upon what they do, So the challenge becomes when you live from that place, what happens when you're not doing what you did that you were telling other people, this is what I do? What happens if it goes away and it's gone and you can't recreate that same work experience? We've all had that, or we will have it mostly. I mean, there's probably a few that there's an exception, but we all come across an ego-crushing experience. And it's meant to do that, to show us that this isn't about us and our ego. Our life experience is a journey, and it's our soul's evolution on this journey. And we're here for a bigger purpose. And I believe it's not about us. So that's why when you can get to that place, when you recognize that my life and my life experience isn't about me, it's about the bigger plan and the bigger purpose that the divine, God, universe, angel, whatever you believe in that's bigger than yourself, there's a bigger plan for each one of us. We each have a purpose. And sometimes we know the purpose, sometimes we don't know the purpose. Sometimes we're meant to know our purpose, and sometimes we're not meant to know our purpose. But when we walk in faith and walk guided by the divine, higher power, universe, whatever you believe, when we walk in that knowingness that we are being guided, all our steps are being guided for us to complete our soul's journey and our soul's mission while we're here. And unfortunately for a lot of people, they think it's about them, like their life is about them. and their ego and what they can achieve and what they can do and what they can accomplish. And it's in the doing, right, that we attach value, right? If I'm a doctor, I operate them. Not to say that being a doctor it's not a negative thing, but when we attach our worth and our value to that, and when it's gone, then there's a big identity crisis, if you will, because our identity is bigger than what we do, right? We are meant to be who we were created to be, with our unique gifts and talents and attributes. And then we have some flaws too, all of us, right? And we have some blind spots maybe as to what some of our challenges are, right? But we're all meant to have that, good things and bad things, right? Happy times, sad times, or happy times, bad times, right? It shapes us and molds us and grows us. And when we can live from an egoless place to say it's all good. It's all good. Everything that has happened up to this point, it's been difficult at times, it's been hard, it's been beautiful and joyous at times as well, and wonderful and beautiful and happy. We have both, right? But I have faith that everything's like Louise Hay's, one of Louise Hay's affirmations, which is one of my favorites, is everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come. I am safe. So that's a knowing and a connectedness to a higher purpose, a higher intelligence, that everything is working out as it's supposed to. Whether we know it or not, or whether we believe it or not, or whether we deem it to be good or bad or right or wrong, is our choice, right? Because it is what it is. We're the ones that connect the value to it, to say something shouldn't have happened, or that it's a bad thing that it happened, right? When a lot of good comes out of very, very difficult situations and things that we might consider to be bad from our 3D human perspective and our 3D human experience. So there's a bigger, higher reason and purpose that a lot of good things can come from things that we think are negative or bad, right? And when we live in that place, in that knowing, and in that faith, beautiful things happen and life flows easier. When we're exerting our 3D ego on others, right? We're struggling. We're looking for validation from others, that we're worthy, that we're lovable, that we're good, that we deserve things. We look for monetary success, right, as an indicator of our value and our worth. And all these things are 3D human ideas or beliefs to define our value and our worth. And our value and our worth is not those things. It's not those things. And a lot of times when there's an illness that comes up for someone is when it really puts into perspective what's important and what isn't important, right? And that a lot of the things that we think are so valuable and so important, when we're really in the throes of a very serious illness, condition, whatever it is, it clears the lens that we see through, right? To say, you know what, all these things that I worried about, or all these things I put so much effort or energy into or attention to, and really lost a lot of sleep or suffered or had so much stress about, it really, in the big picture, wasn't important at all, right? It was an ego-based battle. And we can let go of that ego-based battle and be egoless, to flow through life and enjoy life and be loving and caring and kind to yourself and to others, to enjoy the moments that you have, and to have faith and strength in the times that might be a little harder, right? That knowing that it's a divine plan and we've been provided for every step of our journey, right? We think we define what provided for is, like having a lot of money or this, that, but we are provided for because we're still here, we're still walking, we're still talking, we can still contribute to others on their path and their journey. We're all connected, we're all interconnected with a divine spark of love. And what we do with that connection is up to us. And what we do with how we think about what happens to us, around us, is up to us as well. So we can make it bad or we can make it good. It's up to us. The choice is ours. So anyway, that's kind of a lot of rambling. But anyway, I hope someone found value in this, because being egoless is really a beautiful thing. And we can see it in other people when they are living from that place. So, okay, I wish namaste to everybody. I wish everybody peace and love on your healing journey. And may you bless others and prosper. Okay, see you next time. See you in the next video. Bye.